Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM, where, as far as we're concerned, every year is a good year for movies. Tonight, though, we're zeroed in on 1971, or as it's also known, and because I want to bum you out, 55 years ago. Almost certainly due to the cultural and political upheaval of the 60s, 1971 emerged as a vital year in literature, music, and, of course, the movies. Up next, we've got a double feature of 1971 thrillers. We begin with a dark mystery with a cast led by two emerging stars. From Warner Brothers, Alan J. Pakula directs Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland in Klute. By 1971, several topics considered taboo in Hollywood in the 37 years since the production code kicked in became significant plot points in high-profile studio films. That sea change really began in 1967. Filmmakers took bold risks with stories, cinematography, lighting, and sound design, and actors began to disappear into their characters, depicting raw emotional pain and fury, often violently. These innovations are on full display in Klute. Jane Fonda delivers an Oscar-winning performance here as Bree Daniels, a high-class New York call girl who finds herself at the center of a police investigation led by a detective named John Klute. That's Donald Sutherland. Now, he's the title character, and it's a really good title, Klute, but Fonda's character really drives this story. Anyway, John Klute is looking for a missing businessman who has crossed Bree's path. Klute didn't look like most movies of its time. From the trend-setting hairstyle and fashionable wardrobe Fonda helped create for Bree to the foreboding imagery of cinematographer Gordon Willis. Take note of how Willis frames his shots to heighten the claustrophobia of Bree's world, which grows more disturbing, more tense, and literally darker as the story progresses, a hallmark of the 1970s and particularly of director Alan J. Pakula. Klute is the first film in Pakula's Paranoia trilogy, which includes The Parallax View from 1974, then All the President's Men from 76. The trilogy demonstrates how Pakula's cinematic vision embodied the new Hollywood movement, which began in that pivotal year, 1967. Building on the mistrust and cynicism in the film noirs of the 1940s, which were big influences on Pakula's work, and the Cold War paranoia classics of the 50s, Pakula's movies exposed the crumbling faith in American institutions that defined the 70s and the aftermath of the Vietnam War and Watergate. Moreover, Pakula paved the way for Oscar-winning films like Jordan Peele's Get Out and Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another that memorably echo those same themes. Here it is from 1971, also with Charles Ciaffi and Roy Scheider. This is Klute. To call Jane Fonda a controversial figure during production on Klute would be a vast understatement. She was both praised and vilified at the time, a reaction to her high-profile activism against the Vietnam War. Still, Jane Fonda won a Best Actress Oscar for her performance, a recognition that represented the new Hollywood storytelling shift we talked about before the movie. 10 years earlier, there had been prominent characters like Bree on the big screen, originally written as call girls. Audrey Hepburn earned an Oscar nod for playing Holly Golightly in the 1961 comedy Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Elizabeth Taylor won for her performance as Gloria in Butterfield 8 from 1960. But quite significantly, the production code required that both those characters be changed from call girls to party girls, and that changed the nature of those stories. At the time, you simply couldn't have a sex worker serve as the movie's hero. By 1971, the new Hollywood meant new rules, affording Jane Fonda the opportunity to shine as a layered and complicated character who the audience actively roots for in Klute. Coming up, another thriller from 1971. It's the directorial debut of Clint Eastwood, who also leads the cast, co-starring with Jessica Walter and Donna Mills. Play Misty for Me is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, play Misty for me, then Strike, and later, The Walls of Malapaga. TCM is on the fence tonight.